Hey guys, made a couple satire videos about water shortage and all this and that. Some people kind of got butthurt about it. I really don't care. But the in all seriousness, we are right in the path of Hurricane Irma, and it's supposed to be this record storm. I've been through probably half a dozen of these hurricanes. So it's not something that's new to me. By the same token, I'm looking at things from a slightly different perspective than a lot of people are. I'm just gonna kind of cut to the chase here. People here are kind of going crazy. You know, it's really it's really sad that you live in Florida. Um, we literally have one time a year that is hurricane season. Um, Comes around every single year, same time every year. We get hurricanes every single year. Now, they don't always hit Florida, but we still get hurricanes off the coast, tropical storms, things like this, pretty much every single year. I mean, there's absolutely no reason for some of the chaos that's going on here. I get phone calls, started several days ago, people calling me up, asking me, what are we going to do? We got, I need this and I need that, and so on and so forth. What am I going to do? Not a damn thing, because I took personal responsibility for my own safety and that of my family, and was a good steward with the blessings that I had been given from the Father. And as a result, we're squared away. Not just my house, but my family's house. Some of my kids have gotten married and moved off, but they're squared away too. Once again, biblical principle. Raise your child in the way that they should go, and when they grow old, they will not depart from it. I was proud as hell of one of my kids who got married and went off and went over to check on her and make sure she was okay. Go bag already packed, supplies already ready to go out the door, to her next location. Just her and her husband. My son ready to go. At a moment's notice, everything is ready. There's really no reason why some of the chaos is going on. You show up at Walmart, and I honestly don't think I've ever seen Walmart quite like this before. I mean, we're talking not even like on Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving and stuff, getting ready for Christmas. It's still not as busy then as it has been now. Shelves picked clean at Publix. People fighting over cases of water. I saw a great meme the other day on Facebook. You drink 3 sodas a day, and now all of a sudden a hurricane's coming, and you think you're a fish trying to live off of water. But that's really true. Now all of a sudden people try to catch up and get into this mindset of, preparedness when they have days to go. I said a minute ago about taking personal responsibility. There's literally dozens and dozens of biblical verses, that talk about this concept, talk about good stewardship, talk about, the things that you've been blessed with, um, using them wisely, and not squandering it on, some new doodad or some new gadget. I bought a new gun, or I went to the range for the 12th time this week, just blowing away ammo, just because it's something that I enjoy doing. A lot of people will try and hide their quote unquote preparedness in a hobby. They're not really preparing, they're just enjoying themselves. It's a hobby to them. So they'll go to the range and they'll call that, well, I'm prepping, but they don't even have so much as a week's worth of food in their house. They don't have any water. They don't have any medicine. They don't have any training on basic, medical. They just don't. They don't have. You're not prepping. You're just playing. Um, you're like that guy who walks around in a tap out T-shirt talking about how he's a fighter. You know, no, you're not. So got ready today. One of the things that being prepared has opportunities that is presented for me is it's opened up opportunities for me to be able to help others. Same thing with a buddy of mine. I got up and was able to meet up with a couple of guys and get their radios programmed so that they had backup comms in the event that cell phones go down, in the event that we lose power, things like this. That we've got backup communications. Both to the EOC network and to one another. Just things like this. I'm able to take some of the skills and the abilities that I have and be able to impart them onto other people because I'm not having to sit back at my house to get my own house ready, because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. By the same token, a friend of mine, of the same mindset, was able to, take and help a bunch of people fill sandbags and barricade their houses and stuff because, once again, he took a personal responsibility for his family and in his safety, and he used his resources wisely and his time wisely, and as a result, he didn't have to get ready. um, it's this whole thing. I'm on my way to meet these guys today to get their radios programmed, and there's a fatal accident, a multiple fatality accident sitting right outside of Walmart because of the type of stuff that's going on. Because of people panicking and running around. We're seeing video, as far back as Pasco County, which is all the way in Central Florida, and I-75 going all the way up to Georgia. Talking about backups, on the interstate. These quote unquote these people who are like, oh, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave. You're going to go where? I mean, the storm track is tracking this thing all the way through the state of Florida, up into Georgia, and as far into Alabama and Tennessee. Where are you going to go? If you want to bug out, that's fine, by all means. But if that's part of your plan, then that's something that probably should have been enacted prior to all this. Once again, preparedness is not just about, filling up your bunker. It's about being prepared. If your plan is to evacuate, then go. And don't wait for the day before the storm to do it. This is just, I like Jay Paisley, when he said something the other day that I thought was awesome, on his crisis application group, YouTube channel. He said that prepping is socially responsible. And he was talking about Houston because when he posted this, IRMA was not quite yet, we didn't know if it was going to hit Florida or not. But one of the things that, when he said that, it really sort of rang in my head, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, is socially responsible. And that is absolutely 100% true. The fact of the matter is the inverse of that is also true. Not prepping is socially irresponsible, because by not prepping, you're not only affecting your own life, you're affecting the lives of your family, and you're also, to a certain degree, affecting the lives of others, because there's 100,000 people trying to get inside Walmart and buy water. Whereas if you had bought water 6 months ago and just maybe cycled through it, you kind of kept a stash of water, and you just, as you drink it, you replace it and stuff. If that's what you're going to do, then you wouldn't be fighting over water now. I mean, we're talking like actual people fighting. You wouldn't be running to the gun store trying to buy up the last box of bullets. You wouldn't be, involved in fatal car accidents outside of Walmart 2 days before the storm because of all this. The mindset is that we're going to wait until the problem comes, because we're not good stewards with our time. We're not good stewards with our money. We want to spend all of our time and our money and our efforts and all of that on all the things that we want to do, on basically on ourselves, on feeding our flesh, so to speak, and not be responsible individuals and pass that same mindset on to our kids. And as a result, our kids grow up that way. It's a never ending problem. I'm trying not to just kind of rant, but there's so much going on here in the state. You wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't actually sitting here seeing it. It's really crazy. And the worst part is is this is a hurricane. Yes, it's a big hurricane, and yes, it's probably going to be bad. But this is just a hurricane. We see these all the time in Florida. Can you imagine what would happen if something really catastrophic happened? You know, I'm really not kind of the tinfoil hat type and stuff, but let's just say these guys are right, and Nibiru, or what are they? That coronal mass ejection, or what's the other one? EMP, nuclear attack, something like that. Let's just say something like that actually did happen. Can you imagine how much worse it would be as compared to a hurricane, which happens to us once a year, and people are freaking out? Um, it's absolutely crazy. So I would encourage all of you, regardless of whether or not you're in a hurricane zone or tornado zone, um, doesn't matter where you are, take personal responsibility for your own safety and for your family, because it's not just about you and your family, it's also about your neighbors and your community and things like this. Because as each person is irresponsible with their time and their efforts and their money, uh, in the end result is that all of those irresponsible individuals are crowding into the nearest Walmart or wherever the resources are being distributed, and it's chaos. So anyway, give you guys something to think about there. So be safe, train hard.